Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. I got my hand mold out. I haven't made this for the longest time, and I think I made myself one 2 years ago, and that was it. And it's still sitting on my counter holding drink mix packets. All right, well, today I have already pre-dusted this little guy. This is a little koi fish, and I used copper roses. And my vision for this one is to fill the hands. I know you're not going to believe this when I say this, but I'm actually going to fill the hands with clear resin, you guys, like clear, crystal clear resin. And I'm going to do this in layers because I want the hands, I'm going to fill them up to like here right now. And then I'm going to start putting in some of these flat black rocks that I have. So what I want to look like is them holding a bunch of rocks, like if they were in the river. And then I'm going to fill the hands after it's demolded, fill the hands with tinted blue resin to be the water, and place our fish in there. And I pulled these little things out that I got from Walmart, little flower things. I don't know if I'm going to use them or not. We'll see what they look like inside. But first, we're going to get the first layer in. The first layer is pretty boring. I'm just going to mix up 8 ounces. I don't know how much. I think this holds 16. I'm not sure. But I'm going to mix up 8 and just get it to right around here, right about there. And then I'll start stacking the stones in on the next layer. And then whatever's left, I need just like a ½ ounce to fill up this little fish. And I will do with him in black so it gets that beautiful coloring when we unmold that one. So let me grab some resin. I'm going to start with my 4-hour fast cure. And we should be able to do this today, even though, because I don't want the layers to be cured. If you don't cure your layers between, you won't have that seam. So let's hope and pray that that seam doesn't happen today, because I've done many clocks like this, and sometimes I did go a little too long and there still was no line. So let's do a no line hand. I lied already. I have to put crushed crystal in here, so it's almost all clear. So you know how it is. I gotta have a little bit of my signature sparkle in there. So I'm just going to put a tiny little bit. So that means I will be putting that in every layer. I've already pulled a little bit aside for the black here. And we're gonna get this through the vacuum chamber because there are a lot of bubbles in a thick resin when you put it in a mixer like that. And then I will probably put this heat mat on low because I don't really want to wait 3 hours. And I'm pretty sure I could get this done in one day if you use a heat mat. So I'm just going to put it on low for maybe 20-30 minutes. And I bet that's all we need. I just want it sticky enough where those rocks aren't going to fall through, yet not completely cured. Otherwise, we probably would get a line. Hopefully not, but my goal is no lines today. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this black pigment and color the little fish black so we get the best color that powder offers. I'm not concerned about this one. This one's not gonna go through the vacuum chamber, so we'll just do the big one. But first I'm gonna go ahead and pour this one. And there is a little space for the little back. So you do want to make sure it gets down in there without messing up the powder somehow, because this is not the thinnest resin. So let's hope. I had some of these made and I can't find them. I wasn't planning on pouring this today because I thought I already had it poured, but that's okay. Now I got to pick the color I wanted instead of just pour or using whatever color was already made. So eventually I'll probably find them later this evening when I don't need them anymore. So we're gonna, perfect. Oh, I made way too much. So we'll put that in something else. That didn't need but a 1/4 ounce of resin. So let's get this vacuum chambered and get our first layer pouring. I've already got some rocks sitting out here. Even though I don't need them yet, I'm just kind of seeing what I'm gonna be working with. Okay, ready for the first layer. I am going to spray a good amount of alcohol down in those fingertips. I really don't want bubbles, even though it's a water scene, and that's always my excuse if there's bubbles, but I really don't want them. And I don't know how much I'm going to use. I'm just going to pour it around the edges, and if I have extra, I will use it for something else. I'm not going to over pour, but I definitely need to get it down here in the fingertips, because I don't want the entire hand full of rocks. I just want what would naturally be in your hands if you were holding rocks, which is pretty much in the palms. And yeah, I'm gonna have some extra. Gosh, that took a lot less than I thought. I will squish around these fingers just to make sure that I don't see any bubbles, which is good. So I think I'm gonna stop there. I only used 5 ounces total with the fish and that. So I have 3 ounces left. Looks like I'm gonna be making a little character today. Let me just make sure all these bubbles are out and make sure that's all I want to put in there. Maybe I'll add just a little bit more, because I don't really need 3 ounces left over. That's good. All right, let me find something to pour this into, and as soon as this is tacky, we'll come back and do the next layer. I got my hippo mold out. Let's do a little playing around with some color mixing today. So I pulled out this Suico blue from Eye Candy, just received it. Look at this beautiful color. So this is a pigment paste. I wanted a few pigment paste, so I did buy some. And I got another whole box of another brand sitting here, but I wanted to try this because I love Eye Candy products. And then I mixed up some interference blue, and I think what we're going to do, first I'm going to spray them to get those ears. And now this is a 4-hour fast cure, so I don't have high hopes, because it doesn't work as long, I should say, as the epoxy resin does, to give it that movement that we want and all those little cool effects. But I'm just gonna do what I did the other day and start pouring colors in layers and see what happens. Since it's an extra, if it comes out good, even better. If not, then we know not to do it next time. It's better to practice on your extra stuff than it does on somebody's order, right? That's what I'm thinking. And then I'll turn my heat mat on and see how long that first layer is going to take us in the hands. All right, let's get some clear in there. Put that there. It's the clear that makes the wonders happen. And then we get the last 2 layers. And I'm sure I'll still end up with an extra ounce of resin, because I think these hold 2 ounces. And I'm hoping my mica powder doesn't like sink to the bottom like it did in those hamsters the other day. That was a pigment paste though, that wasn't mica powder. So I'm just gonna fill this up. Sorry if you can't see it. I'm just filling it all the way up with the rest of the clear. And then we're gonna this I'm not gonna keep on the heat mat. I'm gonna let this one kind of go natural. So this won't be ready to unmold on the next segment. I have a little bit left, so I'm gonna grab this little flower mold that I just got and do the same thing. So let me put a little bit more in this blue cup and a little bit more in this mica powder cup. And we'll try the same thing in there. I'm just gonna mix up. I'm not going to add any more pigment or mica. I'm just going to mix what's in there to get it to come out. It's already deep enough as far as coloring goes. So let's do that one. If you guys have any cool ways to mix your colors with cool effects, let me know. We could try them. I'm gonna do this one here. It doesn't have that little clasp on the top. Oh, you know what? This is too big. Let me find a smaller mold. Hang on a minute. That is not going to fill that. We'll do this one here. Hopefully I have enough, because it doesn't look like I have too much left. I don't have as much as I thought I did. Okay, now I'm gonna put the blue. I'm not gonna layer this one because there's not enough space. So I'm just gonna put my white, I should say interference. People ask what interference is. All it is basically a white-based mica powder with a hint of color that they put in. So this one is interference blue because it's got a hint of blue in there. They have purple, red, green. They have all kinds of colors. A lot of people sell them. I got a great deal on Amazon on mine. Huge packets that I will never go through completely in my entire lifetime for a pretty good deal. So if I remember to link that, I'll link the interferences that I use. That looks pretty cool. I have a little bit left. I don't know if I can fit it in this little flower or not. Oops, I forgot to spray it, but that's okay. It's getting thick. Let's just scrape these cups. This is like a really pretty cobalt color. And then this one, which I was already mixed with the blue because I'm using the same stick. But that's okay. It's just gonna be a magnet. And then I'll just finish it off with the clear that's in here if I could scrape enough out. Perfect amount. So hopefully I'm not going to have like a ton of extra on every layer that I do, or I'm going to have extras coming out my ears tonight. Okay, that's good. That's it for the extras now. It's been less than 30 minutes. So what I did was put my heat mat on low, left it uncovered, came back and checked it. I think it's been like 20 minutes, and I used my scribe, and it's pretty solid but sticky. It's a little farther than I wanted it to go. So I could tell you from prior experience what is probably going to happen from here on out. So I'm not going to turn my heat back on after this layer. I mixed up 4 more ounces, crushed crystal, vacuum chamber, and I want to start pouring it in while I'm talking. Actually, I want some more alcohol. Because this bottom layer is curing quicker now than the rest will be, that is going to continue getting hot, which is then going to heat up this next layer, and so on and so forth. So the rest of this pour is going to be pretty quick because of that reason. So each additional layer is going to be curing quicker than the one above it, if you understand, if I'm explaining that correctly. And when the one below it is hotter than the one above it, it's going to heat up the one above it. So there is no more need for any kind of heat mat to be on. So I just put 4 more ounces in, and now I'm going to start layering rocks in here. I don't know why I threw that big one in. We'll put it there. So now is where I'm going to start kind of putting them in. I think the bigger ones first. And I should probably coat them in resin. I'm just going to flip them and coat them. And I'm not going to go really any higher than what the resin is. I really just want to be on this edge too, so it doesn't look like he's dropping any. And then each subsequent layer, we will put more rocks in along the edge, so it's only holding like in the palms of his hands, if it works out the way I want it to work out. That is the question. I always have a vision in my head, whether or not that I can actually do it. That's when it starts getting tricky. So I need some smaller ones up here, up in this finger areas. I do have little pebbles out, but they're not black. And I'm not sure if I want to incorporate them to fill in some blank spots or not. I haven't decided if I can get it to look right if I do that. So, I don't know. Whoops. And then this is probably going to be ready again in less than 30 minutes, just because, like I said, that the bottom layer is already hot. I don't know how many I want to go. I don't even know if I want it to go there, but this one keeps falling. I wish I had smaller black rocks. I just want spaces filled in. That's why I was thinking the little tiny pebbles, but the pebbles are like tan and white. Not really sure that's what I'm looking for in here. And that one is probably going to have bubbles if I leave that there. So we're going to move it here. I'm hoping these stay. Just like this. All right, so I'm just gonna babysit this probably a half hour, and then I'll mix 4 more ounces up, and we'll just keep doing it like that. I'm not sure. So what do I have in here? 6, 10. So it's probably got 2 more layers. It's now only been 15 minutes. It is hot, hot, hot because, like I said, it's generating all this heat. So nothing is going to move. I did, as you can see, add those tiny little pebbles in the little blank spots. So I don't have a lot of blank spots. So I did decide to do that. So it's still movable, but it's not going to be long. So I went ahead and I mixed up 3 ounces this time. And we'll do the next layer with that and build up some more black rocks, and then I'll probably do some more pebbles now that I added them. We're going to want to add some more. Do I want all 3 ounces is the question. I might as well. There's not that much left in here. I did put crushed crystal in. I ran it through the vacuum chamber as quickly as I could. Because like I said, the rest of this is going to go quick. We'll be waiting on the little koi fish. I did put him on my other heat mat along with the other extras. Since those were done moving, I did go ahead and put those in there. So I think I'm going to take some more of the pebble first this time and just kind of do that. And then we'll start building the rocks again. Just if you do try this, make sure you keep your rocks underneath the lip, especially the last layer. I'm trying to get the thinnest ones that I can, although I should probably get the thicker ones right now that will fit in here because the other ones will not after the next layer. So I think I will do that. I got these rocks from a customer. My husband and I own another business, and a customer hired us to do their inspection. And his mother had passed away, and he was getting ready for an estate sale when we got there. And she was a crafter, And OMG, was she a crafter. Her entire garage and every room in her home was filled with things like this. And it was everywhere. And I was like in heaven. And my husband knew he wasn't getting much work out of me at that house, because the guy was like, do you know anybody who crafts? And I'm like, well, yeah, I do. And I go, but I only do resin. I don't do everything your mom did, because she kind of dabbled into everything. And he says, if there's anything you want, just go ahead and take it, because he was overwhelmed and it was everywhere and he didn't know what it was worth and whatever. So he grabbed me a box, and this was this was like a year and a half ago. So that's how long I've had these. And he's like, go ahead, go through the house, go through the drawers, go through everything and get whatever you want. And then he'll worry about the rest. He's like, I'm going to have her friends come over and tell me what some of this is worth if they don't want everything and whatever. So I was just like, oh my gosh, he had so much stuff on his hands. I kind of felt bad for the poor guy, but I guess she's been crafting her whole life, so he was used to it, but now he had to deal with all the stuff that was left after she was gone. So I don't know whatever happened. All I know is I got to take a nice box of stuff home. She had so many things that were like natural. She would find things out in nature and keep them. And I still have a whole bunch of it. I haven't used much of it at all. But it was really cool that he was able to do that for me. And I was having a lot of fun. Don was like, oh boy, you started something now, buddy. So yeah, that's where these rocks came from. So saying all that, I don't have a link for you. And I don't know where to find black rocks that are flat like this. Maybe Michael's, maybe, I'm not sure. Hobby Lobby. You could probably find everything on Amazon as well. Okay, so I think, do I have any more? Any flat ones? I think I should put them in now. I mean, by the time I'm done messing around with this, it's going to be hot and it's going to be ready for the next layer. What do you want to bet? I just want to make them look like he scooped them naturally. That's why I put the pebbles in, like, in between all these little crevices where I can't get them. Here's a little, that one really needs to go in later. Unless, oops. Oh gosh, oh, there it is. Thought it was gone forever. We'll put that one right there. So I don't know that I'm going to get any black rocks on this last layer. This is going to be one heavy set of hands, I could tell you that. Just want to make sure that they're underneath. And what you could do is grab something flat and make sure they are all underneath, which they are. Now I'm going to take some little pebbles again and just put them in all these little cracks and crevices that are showing just resin. I hope this was a good option, these little pebbles. I hope I didn't ruin my whole vision for this thing. I mean, I planned on it in the beginning, and then when I saw that my rocks were black, that's why I kind of changed my mind at the last minute about them. All right, I will be back in just a second. I basically just need to stir up some resin. I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes, but yeah, it's going to be really quick. Like I said, we're going to be waiting on everything else to cure in order to finish these up. So that's pretty cool. Again, 15 more minutes. Mixed up resin, crushed crystal, vacuum chamber. And let's pour. It is generating a lot of heat. Like if I poured this in one felt swoop, it would definitely be flash curing. Oh gosh, I did too much because I do want a few more rocks. So I did 4 more ounces. I should have remembered I was putting more rocks in. This is really sticky, as you can see. I'm not going to mess around with it a whole lot. I just want to cover. Oh, it's not going to cover. I don't have any thin enough rocks left, and I don't know if I can get that down below that surface. So I guess I'm going to do pebbles for the rest of it right here in the center. And then I'll just top it off, I should say, and dome the back of it so we don't have that really, really sharp surface. A couple more little rocks right there. And that's it for the rocks. So let's just pour the rest of the, well, not the rest, we'll pour what will fit because it is curing before my eyes. And everything is under that layer. Oh, it is curing so fast. That's all I could fit. Let me just pop these 2 down a little bit farther below. There we go. And I have, what do I got left? I got 1.5 ounces left. So I'm going to find something to pour that into. And this is complete. Now we need to wait for the little koi fish to be completely cured. And we can finish the inside. This is completely cured. This was cured way faster than all the little stuff. This was like done 15-20 minutes after I was done pouring. And then, you know, I had to let it cool down. So it's pretty heavy. I did unmold the extras just so I'm not wasting a lot of time on the extras because I still have time to do this one. And here are the 2 flowers. Look at how beautiful those came out. I love that pigment paste. The reaction to them, beautiful. And then I took the leftover black and I poured it in this little teddy bear mold. So we'll have to give him a little bit of eyes and something to hold or something. And then I did pull the fish out. Here's the fish. Look at how pretty that is. It turns from green, gold to red. So that one is going to be holding in the hands. But look at this hippo. I'm in love with the way that marbled itself. Look at this. He is adorable. I love these blue. Well, that wasn't blue. That was actually the interference blue, which came out really pretty. So we'll have to finish this one up. Love that. Now, I can't remember how to unmold this the easiest way. It's been quite a while. The last time I did this for somebody else was for a memorial piece, and that was a while ago, so I don't remember, and I haven't used it for my extras for quite a while either, so we're gonna have to figure this out the best way. But gosh, it's heavy. It's definitely not going anywhere, and when you put it down, that's going to be its home. Get this off. And this mold is still actually in pretty decent shape. I have filled this thing probably 10 times by now, whether it be for somebody else or for extra. Usually I do it all for extras. I think I've only made it for people a couple of times. And it is still good. Oh, look at that. Now, the only problem I see is you cannot tell that they're stones. All that work I did. Obviously, those you can. But I was really hoping you could see. I was hoping it would look like that. And it doesn't. It looks black. Not exactly the look I was going for. So now I'm really glad I put those little stones in, because this one is going to fit in here. And we're going to fill that with resin. So I'm going to have to do another 2 layers because I don't want him sitting on the bottom of the hands. I kind of wanted him up. Or maybe I will have to stick him in the bottom of the hands, or it might not cover. So I will have to stick them in there. Now, do I want these in there is the question. I don't think so. Because they kind of look fake, because they are fake. I don't really think. Although at this point, it doesn't really matter because you can't really tell that those are stones. And I don't, well, no, because I don't want to cover the stones that I can tell. So let's just keep this simple and not put any of these in there. I'm wondering how much resin it's going to take. 4 or 5 ounces maybe. So I'm not going to do crushed crystal again. I've got enough in here. Oh, what I did want to do, I want to paint the fingernails. Unless it's going to be guys' hands. Should I not paint the fingernails? Maybe I should just leave it. I do need to trim this first. But you know what? I usually get bubbles right here. No bubbles. Everything looks pretty good. I just need to barely sand that down. But yeah, man, that's the look I was going for. Very disappointed. I honestly thought you would be able to tell. So if you do this, I would say don't use black stone. Use all different color stones. Kind of like those. That stinks. Hopefully it won't be too bad when it's completely done. I'm not going to change my vision for it because it's already got the stones in there. What is that? Oh, I must have missed a piece of, or I had silver in the mold because it's got a little silver on its fin. All right, let me mix up some resin and I'll put some alcohol ink in there. Barely any. I just want it barely tinted blue because I don't want the fish like discolored. And I may tack him down with UV resin. I'm not sure. Let me think about it. I mixed up 4 ounces. This is fast cure. The whole thing was fast cure, which is crazy. I did tint it a little bit of blue, tiny bit, pulled all the bubbles out. Now I took UV resin and I tacked down 2 fins that were touching the hand, so this way it can't come out while it's curing. I'm just gonna spray this with alcohol to keep the bubbles out and fill it up and see how much it takes. I'm hoping we see some of this blue. Yeah, it's good enough tinted. Now I can only go so high. Oh gosh, that's it because it's gonna come. I'm going to have to prop this up. I didn't think of that. Yeah, because the fish is not underwater. Unless I prop this up, it's coming down his hands right there. Let me find something to prop this up with. I just folded up a napkin because I didn't know what else to do. And I'm just going to keep pouring it now. I'm hoping his fin gets covered now. Because it's going to come. That's all I could do. Oh, gosh. It's coming out this way. If I prop it up a little bit more. His fin is barely under. It's not under yet, but I need it to go up a little bit more. Why do I always have to think on my feet? Come on. I think, let me see what I gotta do. I just need that fin under and I'll be happy. And it is so full. It's coming down this way. I need to put something else underneath here. I just refolded it and made it a little higher, added a little more just to get it underneath. So that's all I'm doing because it is so full. It's almost coming into his thumb, and I don't want it there if I don't need it there. It did come down here a little bit, so maybe I can keep cleaning it off. I'm not sure. If not, I'm sure I could live with that. But yeah, it could go up like another centimeter or millimeter or whatever meter. So yeah, I'm going to try to move this out of the way because I'd like to finish those extras over here while I'm waiting for this to cure. And I only have a ½ ounce left, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. And that is not important at the moment, so I'm going to try to fix this. It's finished, almost completely cured enough where I can handle it. So let me show you the extras that I did. I took this little flower that was already pretty, but every single one of these had a bubble underneath it. So I had no choice but to cover the tips with rhinestones. So I did both sets since I had to do the inner set. I put a magnet on the back of that one. And then I just went ahead and did the exact same thing to the larger one. And then look at this little bear. Isn't she not adorable? A little purse in her hand, some pink toenails, a pink belly button, and then I put her ears in rhinestones. The eyes were really hard because it was a black bear and I couldn't really do black eyes, so I just put rhinestones. Although I'm not crazy about them, it's only a magnet, so it's still cute. And then the hippo, what do you think? She is adorable. This will be on my eBay. These things sell so fast on eBay, so if you want a character that's a demo, then you got to be quick. If not, you can always order one from me or get the mold because I sell the mold in eBay too. Anyway, here is she all blinged out. I put a little bow on her back and a crown on her head. I love the blues in this hippo. It is so beautiful. And then there's a little bit of crushed crystal shining through it all. So that's her. And then what I didn't show you, because I didn't know if it was going to be cured or not, look at this little doll. So I took the leftover from the very last layer, and then I put some new pigment that I got out of the box and some of the same interference blue. Did the exact same thing that I did to the hippo, just clear the pink, the interference, the clear, the pink, the interference, and this is how she came. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. So I put a bow in her ear, drew the face on her, put a little rubber ducky in her hand and a lollipop, of course, and a little bow around her neck. And then I didn't really want to fill the ears in, so I just gave her one earring in each ear and then put little shoes on her feet. Isn't she not adorable? I love this little thing. So here's the hands. Although not what I envisioned, it's still pretty cool. What do you think? I mean, from here, I can actually see the rocks. But I think because I had it on the black surface, that didn't help. So I think if we put it, you know what you can even do is light it up. Put it on a light base. I should have tried that, but I don't have my light base out. Either way, I had it propped up on a silicone mold the whole time. It's been maybe an hour and a half, and it's not going to move. So it is just barely underneath that water. Anyway, it's not what I envisioned. It's not bad. I'm not saying that. It's just I wish those rocks were more defined. But if you put a light in here, you'll probably see them no problem. And yeah, we'll have to try it again holding something else. So give me an idea of what the hands can hold. I know you guys have the best ideas out there because I like this mold. I don't do it often enough, and I think it's really cool to be holding something. So that's the first time it's actually holding an object. All right, guys, stick around for those photos. I will get you at the end, and I will see you tomorrow for something else pretty cool. All right, guys, have a blessed day. Bye.